Are you a reptile keeper in college or going to college and you're worried about caring for your animals efficiently? Keep watching because this video is for you. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zoe, and 𝘼𝙪𝙨 Reptiles has been around since 2017 when I was in college. So I did go through college caring for reptiles. My first 2 years, I only had fish, and then my last 2 years was when I started getting into reptiles. I did have reptiles in high school, or a reptile. I had a leopard gecko, but it was the family leopard gecko. So it wasn't until my junior year of college that I had my own reptiles at college with me. So this was a requested video. If you guys have been around since the start of 𝘼𝙪𝙨 Reptiles, my videos were filmed my senior year of college. So I was at college when I started this channel. So I do have some videos from my college days way at the beginning. Warning, they are very cringy, but they are there. So because I've gone through this, I did have a request to do this video and share with you guys my tips for being a reptile keeper in college. So first and foremost, before we jump into it, I do want to kind of put out a little, I don't know what to call it, but if you are going to keep reptiles in college, if you're in the dorms, make sure you check your college's rules. I could only have a 10-gallon fish tank. So my first 2 years of college, I only had fish. It wasn't until I moved off campus that I could have reptiles. Secondly, if you have roommates, make sure that they are aware of what you have or what you plan on getting to make sure they're okay with it, especially if you're gonna have things like bugs in the house, especially if you're breeding roaches or have roaches, or if you have snakes and you need to keep frozen mice in the freezer. Have a conversation with your roommates or potential roommates first. All right, so now that we've established that, let's jump into it. So number one is make a schedule. One of the best things that I learned in college from my freshman year advisor was to get a paper, write out your week, hour by hour, grab a marker or a highlighter, and block out your schedule. Block out your classes first because those are non-negotiables. Those happen at a time and that's the time they're at. So mark those out, okay? Plan your meals. You want to have some time set aside for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? Mark that in there. Do you play a sport or you want to go to the gym? Mark that in there, because then you see what gaps you have left for fun things like animal care, hanging out with friends, doing your homework, studying. So from there, schedule in an hour a day for animal care. That way it's in your schedule. Non-negotiable, you have time for it. Block in your homework and studying times. You have a job? Block that in there, because you might feel overwhelmed and stressed, like you don't have enough hours in the day. But when you create a written schedule and you have it visually in front of you blocked out, you can see where the gaps are and find those extra hours in your day that you so desperately want. Number two, because having pets isn't free, that comes with costs, make sure you have some sort of income to be able to afford your animals and their needs. So whether your parents are sending you money to help cover costs because you're in college and maybe you don't really have time for a part-time job, whatever, or you get a part-time job. The nice part about college is a lot of places, they know your college town. They know that college kids don't have a lot of time to work all the time. So a lot of them are okay with only giving you a couple hours, a couple times a week. In college, I worked at our zoo gift shop 3 days a week, maybe. The weekends, I worked full 8-hour shifts, and then I usually had like one weekday because I'd only have like one class or so, and I would work like a half a day. My sophomore year, I worked at Joann Fabrics on Thursday and Friday nights for only like 4 hours. I was a cashier, so it wasn't anything difficult to train. They totally didn't mind having me come in and take over registers for a couple hours at the end of the night. It freed the others up to do stuff like put product away and whatever. So it's definitely easier if you're in a city where there's a lot of retail options that will totally take you as a cashier for a couple hours a day. Because let's be honest, we don't all have time for 8-hour shifts when you're in college, but a couple hours here and there, no biggie. Totally make that work. Then you're getting some money to be able to afford groceries, take yourself out to eat, to hang out with friends, supply food for your reptiles. So I definitely recommend finding some sort of part-time job, even if it's just a couple hours, a couple times a week. Number 3, make an animal care schedule. So you have your overall week schedule, now you need an animal care schedule. This is especially helpful if you have multiple animals. Day by day, break down, okay, who's getting fed, what are they getting fed, what supplements are they getting. That way when it comes to your hour or however long you block out to do animal chores, you can look right at your animal care schedule and be like, all right, this is what I have to do today. I've done this for my animals and it's been super, super helpful with keeping track of the variety that I feed them, their supplementation. I think I have one of the sheets here. It's like destroyed and busted. I need to print them and like laminate them. But this is an example of one of my animal care schedules. So I have my AM feed, my PM feed, and my PM. So when I say AM and PM, that's like who am I spraying in the morning, who am I spraying at night. And then like my AM feed are my diurnal animals and my PM feed are my nocturnal animals. And then just to give you an example, like here on Sunday, I have Tansy, my bearded dragon, get salads, vitamins, and bugs. And then on Monday, Tansy gets salad and calcium. So I can just look right at this and be like, okay, this is what I'm doing today. I don't need to sit here and be like, what did I do yesterday? Who did I feed? What did I feed? What supplements did I do? It's right here. I'm like, all right, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Who's on the list? What are we doing? It's especially helpful if you have to bring in a pet sitter. You just be like, here's the schedule, just follow it. Brief intermission to say hi to our guest. All right, number 4, we're in college. College kids don't have a lot of money, usually, for the most part. So if you have an animal that eats insects, breed your insects. Mealworms, dubia roaches. You can breed superworms. It takes a little more work. I've done it. Didn't last long, but it is possible. So that is a huge savings as far as money goes. And not all college kids have cars. Some colleges don't allow you to have your car. So it keeps you from having to also go to the store quite as often. And finally, number 5, make friends with other keepers in the area, especially if you are going away to college, you're somewhere new. It's good to have connections that you can rely on for help, or if maybe you're new to an area, to ask like where to get certain things or what pet shops are okay and ethical and which ones you should stay away from. Especially if you're in a city, a lot of places will have a herpetological society or Facebook groups. So joining those things, getting contact for people, that way you can make connections. But also it's helpful if, say, you need a pet sitter. It lets you to more easily connect with other reptile keepers in your area. I was very lucky that I went to school for zookeeping, so I could literally ask pretty much anyone in my major if I needed a pet sitter, but I also roomed with people in my major, which was super convenient. Are you in college or have gone through college with reptiles and you have more tips that I may have missed? Leave them in the comments below so we can help others. And as always, thank you guys for watching this video, and we'll see you for the next one. Bye!